Hello and welcome to Rich Rides. This week I'm going to do a bit of a video about motorcycling in Mallorca. I was there a couple of weeks ago. You'll see that last week's video was reviewing the Moto Guzzi and that was in Mallorca. So I thought I'd give everyone the lowdown on why I think motorcycling in Mallorca in the UK winter or springtime is a good idea. So I'll give you a bit of information about the place itself and then some recommendations for a couple of roads and a couple of beaches too. So first of all, why Mallorca? I think it's a great place for riding because we went in March and the weather is decent without it being silly hot. So it's in the sort of low 20s. In the evenings it does get cooler, but during the day temperature's really nice. The roads are really good, and with it being the sort of off season, then they're nice and quiet. There's some reasonably sized roads so you can get around the whole island fairly quickly. The driving out there's not too mad either, so you don't feel intimidated by some of the drivers, and on those faster roads it's fine anyway. It's not like somewhere they're absolutely loonies. As well as having all those larger roads around so you can get around easily, there's loads of smaller roads and loads of mountain areas, so it should be something that fits with everyone. The flights to get out there are pretty cheap from sort of all over the UK, and so is the accommodation at this time of year. And the beauty of having some transport when you're out there means that you don't have to stay in the sort of touristy areas. So we stayed in a pretty residential area, so it was nice and quiet, just what we wanted in a Airbnb. Had the whole place to ourselves with a pool, though it was a bit cold for a pool. But yeah, so something like Airbnb, you'll find accommodation really reasonable, and same with the flights. So they're just some of the reasons that I think it's a good location. So on to a couple of route recommendations. If you like these small twisty roads, then this is the one for you. Apologies for my pronunciation of all of these Spanish places. I'll probably ruin them all, but I've included links to the Google Maps to show these routes and a little bit about the routes in the description below. So if you like twisties, this is the one for you. So it starts in Alaro and you head up the MA 2100, and about halfway up there's a really nice place to stop. We stopped for sort of tea and cake there, and it was a nice rest for your arms, and that was at the restaurant Orient. Like I say, just happened to be the place we stopped and we dropped lucky, it was really good. So we then carried on the MA 2100 to Bunyola, and from there you take the MA11 and then the MA11A to Sola. And like I say, this is incredibly twisty. It's the sort of first gear corners. The only thing you need to be careful of, we discovered that there's lots of cycle teams out there sort of doing their off-season training, so you've just got to be careful of big sort of groups of cyclists. And a lot of these sort of hairpin bends, some of them you can see round, some of them you can't, so you've just got to be careful of cyclists, especially coming and flying the other way. But if you like twisties, that's a twisty road. As you can sort of see from the Google map that I've overlaid, then that's what you call twisty. So on to my favourite road of the whole week. So this is not as twisty, but it's got lots of big sweeping bends. It had brand new grippy tarmac. I reckon they re-tarmacked this road about a week before we were there. So it's absolutely perfect was this road surface. And as I said, lots of big sweeping bends and a nice variety of corners, and the views and everything are fantastic too. It's a big coastal road. And this starts at Anthrax, not Anthrax, Anthrax, and you follow the MA10 all the way up there. So that goes up, we stopped sort of halfway at Banyal Before, still on the MA10, and again you just keep following the MA10, and we then went to Espores. So you do actually come off the MA10 to the MA1100 there, but that's an absolutely cracking route. Like I say, my complete and utter favourite road of the whole week. So if you go there on a motorbike, you have to do this road. It's just brilliant. So I thought it was worth giving a couple of recommendations of some great beaches too. And as you'll discover, if you do go there riding, then the whole island is pretty nice anyway. But these were just a couple of our favourites from the week. So the first one is Cala Llombards. That's in the sort of southeast of the island. Really nice beach, nice and sheltered. Quiet when we were there. Amazing water and nice beach, and like I say, quiet, so you've pretty much got the thing to yourself. The other beach we really enjoyed, went there a couple of times, was Cala Pi, and this is right at the south of the island. And again, it's a little cove with super clear water. Really, really nice. So highly recommend both of those, and both of them, they're not commercialised at all. There's a couple of places where you can have something to eat or a drink, but we just took our own sort of drinks and things and just had a nice chill out. So what I do recommend, because we did quite a lot of mileage, we took sort of a midweek day as just a bit of a chill out day. So we didn't do that many miles on the bikes that day. So we just went along to Cala Pi and had a bit of a chill out. So yeah, as an island, I totally recommend it. Great for riding motorbikes. The place we got our bikes from was Vintage Motors. Before I went, then I looked up all the different places, and these guys were really well rated. And I've got to say, I was really, really impressed. They were expecting us when we sort of turned up. The bikes were in really good condition. In the shop, look at the other bikes, and again, everything was in great condition, and you could tell everything was looked after. So I highly recommend Vintage Motors, and they've got 3 different offices in Palma itself, the capital, so it's sort of easy to find and hire your bikes. So that's it for this week. I hope you found that useful. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. There's weekly videos that I publish every Monday. If you have any questions or comments, please do leave them below and I'll answer them if you have any questions. So thanks again, and see you next week.